So I am back at a project I started 7 months ago when I cleared for this house. If you remember the overgrown pond in the background, I don't know if you can see it from here, but I cleared around that, redone the pond dam, new overflow, and also cleared 2 house lots up here by the road that he's also building houses on. You'll see that in the drone overview that I do here in a minute. But I'm back here today to start on the driveway. Going to get this graded out and some stone put in here. So that went pretty good. New truck still on point, nice and clean. But I like to pull the skid steer with it. It just pulls it a little bit better. But I was able to get all that kind of slicked up on grade. Trucks are going to come tomorrow and spread throughout the day. Then I'll come here tomorrow afternoon and grade it all out if they get it all done, which regardless I'll still come down here and spread some out. But yeah, here is the house that was built. They started like November, I think, broke ground, and here it is first week of April, so they rock and rolled on that house. But gonna do a parking area here, and then I may make this a little bit bigger just as a turnaround, but that's not too bad of a turnaround. Let's walk down here and check out the pond now that the grass is starting to grow up. If you remember, I think, hopefully I still have some of the previous pictures of this, because all this was woods. The tree line started right there and went straight through the house all the way across. And if you remember, I brought the Hitachi out here first, cleared a path so they could kind of see the pond and figure out where to do the house. And then I come back over here once I bought my Volvo and cleared all this, thinned the woods out over there, cleared every bit of this, and burn it all right in here. And then on the pond dam, remember this pond was so grown up you couldn't even see it. I cleared all the trees out, all down this side, and the whole pond dam was all covered in trees. Cleared all that off. And then, let's see, I think I got a bunch of dirt from right in here to raise the pond dam up, because it was pretty narrow and low where it had washed through the center. And got all that put back in place, and new overflow, and cleaned up that edge over there. But it's really shaped up pretty nice, I think. Once they ever get grass growing, that's the hardest part. Is the dirt out here isn't the greatest in the world, even though I tried to put some topsoil back on top of it. Looks like the overflow is doing well. Keeping everything nice and clean. Like I've said, this is what I like about the style I put in, is you get a little bit of mess around it like that. All you gotta do is just come down here and pop that off and put it back in place. But there's the good view back of the house. Looks like the spillway's held up good. I know he told me they did get a rain big enough where it overfilled and come through here, and you can actually see where it did. But the way I designed this was it would kind of come through here. I built a little berm just so the water would not jump over and go down the back of the pond dam and wash that out. But you can actually see some of the straw right here where it kind of dammed up into the woods. I didn't want to disturb all that because then it would start washing. But yeah, it appears that all that held up good. Then there's that humongous rock right there in the center of the hill over there. I like it. I got a nice view from the back of the house. So I got 80 tons of stone delivered today. It's all they could bring. So 2 loads are dumped right here. They're going to go for the parking area and turn around at the driveway, and the other 2 were spread on the driveway. Probably the thinnest I have ever seen stone spread. I don't know how they spread ABC stone that thin, but in some areas it's only like 1 inch thick and even. So kudos to the driver for getting it spread that thin, but they are bringing about 4 more loads tomorrow. So that went pretty good. I was able to take those 2 loads and build the parking area and turn around here at the little pad for the driveway here. Just ran around here with the shovel and touched up those edges. All that spread out pretty good. It's about 4 inches thick or so. Got 80 more tons coming tomorrow to go from the dumpster here to the road. They put 2 loads on top of that, but like I said before, it's very thin. Need to thicken it up a little bit more. Gonna let this rain on it for a month or so, let them drive over it, pack it down if anything gets settles or anything, touch it up, and then probably come back and put wash stone, the clean gravel on top of it to really dressing it up. But if you go and do it now until this stuff really gets packed down hard like concrete and goes through a few rain cycles, it'll just sink right all down into it and it'll all disappear. So I'm gonna let that weather in for a little while, then come back once the house is completely done, they're moved in, and top dress that off. It won't take but probably about 3 loads. That stuff goes pretty far per truckload. ABC don't go too far, but the gravel you can get probably 300 feet out of a truckload. There should be enough room to be able to pull down here and turn around. Alright, we'll be back tomorrow to finish spreading the rest. Now it's time to replace the driveway culvert. There are 4-foot pipes in here right now and they are all clogged up and in bad shape, so I'm going to pull all those out and replace it with 3 8-foot pieces, so the driveway will be 4 feet wider and a little bit easier to pull a trailer in. So got the utilities marked, phone and cables over there, and the water line runs right straight in the dead center of the ditch here, so I got to be careful of that. It should be 2 or 3 feet in the ground, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to scrape the gravel off the top of the pipe and go ahead and get that pulled out of there. So now that I've got all the stone pulled off of it, I also uncovered the pipe with pulling the clay off. Now I think I have enough dug out on this side. I'm going to start on this end, reaching in there and try to wiggle the 4-foot sections of pipe out. And then all I have to do is just pretty much clean up the ditch that it's laying in and relay the new pipe. Time to take the grading bucket off, put that one on so I can use the thumb. I have the ditch cleaned out and I put a little bit of stone in there just to kind of level it up a little bit and get the bottom nice and level there. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and grab the pipe, bring it over here. There it is, new pipe installed. I guess I should probably check the level on it since I just kind of eyeballed it. And get the level out of the truck and make sure there's fall on it. Now I have to show you our stone spreading disaster from the truck driver today. One yesterday could spread good. Today he put 80 tons over about 100 feet. Spreading wasn't his forte. Let's make sure we got fall. I'm pretty good at eyeballing it, but it's just nice to know. About 1.5 inches of fall on that one. Flip it over so you can actually see. It's got about a 1/2 inch of fall per 2 feet, so that's good. Get the bubbles together. That one's got about an inch of fall on it as well. All right, it will flow that way once the ditch is cleaned out some. habitat. This should be interesting. So I'm gonna come down here to where I think is the deepest part, which should be about the center, and dump these bad boys in here. Somewhere right in here. See if I can get spun around without tearing up too much. Pull right up here to the edge and dump. Oh, I got a windshield wash out of the deal. And now the new culvert pipe is in. It's got about 12 inches of cover over top of it. Had to dig it down the ditch a little bit, but everything graded back out nicely. State needs to come eventually and clean out the ditch. It's kind of silted in, but the new pipe laid in here nicely. Now the driveway is 24 feet. It was 20, which was a little bit narrow because you lose some on your slopes there. But should be able to pull a trailer in here nice and easy now. So the previous person yesterday spread really well, which makes it very easy to make a nice straight line driveway. Homeboy today didn't do too good. Oh boy. Well, it's here. It's just got to go all the way up there, one bucket full at a time. Oh well. So all that's left to do now is finish spreading this stone out where they dumped it out a little too thick yesterday. And I knocked it down before I left just so they could drive up and down the driveway, but as you can tell, it's not smooth at all. So I'm going to start grading that out. I'm probably going to start down here and getting that cut to grade and just keep taking it farther down the driveway as I need it. Skid steer's washed off and the driveway is done. Didn't get much video spreading the stone. It's just kind of hard to film that because you're going from here all the way up there to the road. You don't sit in one spot very long. But it turned out alright. I'm not too thrilled with the way it is right through here, just because when they dumped it out it tends to get a little wider than I really wanted it, but it's really not too bad. It's about a foot wider or so, a couple feet down here, but kind of all blends in together pretty good. So I'm going to take the drone here before it gets dark and take a little video from the sky.